Okay, let's look at adverbs and adjectives. So when we talk about adverbs and adjectives, what do we mean? When you hear about the word adverb and adjectives, one, we need to know these are descriptive forms of speech, parts of speech. And we all know that adverbs and adjectives form what we call a part of speech. They are parts of speech. Like, for example, we can have nouns, pronouns, adverbs, verbs, pronouns, conjunctions, exclamations, all those can be parts of speech. But amidst these parts of speech, we also have what we call adverbs and adjectives. So we are looking at adjectives and adverbs for now. And when we talk about adjectives, these are words that describe nouns or pronouns. Those are adjectives. They describe nouns or they modify nouns or pronouns. So when we talk about the word adjective, ideally you should know that when we're talking about adjective, it is that word that gives more description, that talks more about a noun or a pronoun. When I say teacher Emma is an old person, I ideally mean that teacher Emma is a noun. Because a noun can be a person, can be a place, can be something, can be an animal, you understand? So when I say teacher Emma is an old person, I will ideally mean that teacher Emma as a noun is an old person. So old is that adjective which is describing, means it in limukulu. Check it. Old. When I say I can give another example. I say Mike was tired after the race. Mike was tired after the race. Mike yali akoye nga oluvanyuma lw'okola ki lw'emisinde oba okudduka race. So this means that Mike is a noun. Tired obukowu buliwe bu describing a Michael cheyali owechege. Mike cheyali after the race is an adjective. So tired is the adjective which is describing Mike, you understand, as a noun. So basically those words which describe a noun or a pronoun are the words which are termed as adjectives. For example, it can be in form of color. So kunyonyola omuntu n'omudescribing noga oli chocolate, oli wa black, anyo oli wa bramweru nnyo chege. Then size, muwanvu, mutini, mumpi, fat, thin, fat, tall, short, you can describe in that format. Those are all adjectives. Then shape, oval, rectangular, square, circular, you can also describe in form of circular. So anything you bring out to describe a noun or a pronoun is what we call as, is what is referred to as what? An adjectives. So then adverbs. Adverbs are words that describe or modify verbs, other adverbs, or even what we call adjectives. So they describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. So these are what we call adverbs. Understand? So for them, they are also modifying words. They are describing words. So they describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. For example, when I say my sister drives carefully, my sister drives carefully. Sister my sister drives carefully. So drives is a verb. Carefully is an adverb. So carefully is an adverb which is describing the drive. You understand, as a verb. You understand? My sister drives carefully. Even if I say please drive carefully, drive is a verb and carefully is an adverb. And most of the verbs, most of the adverbs come from verbs. They describe more of verbs mostly. Though I told you that there are words that describe adjectives, adverbs, other adverbs or even verbs, but mostly they describe verbs. So for example, my sister walks slowly. Slowly is an adverb, you understand? And most adverbs are basically created by adding an ly onto them. Slowly, carefully, hardly, rarely, anxiously, automatically, scientifically, you understand it? By adding ly. Those are all adverbs. So basically, when we talk about adverbs and adjectives, that is what we ideally mean. So thank you so much for that. That was it on the part of adjectives and adverbs. We meet in the next session.